Good evening, baseball fans. How are you doing on this Monday evening? Welcome to week 2 of the Power Rankings. Let's get to it. And good evening, baseball fans. Hello. Who do we got here in the chat? What is going on? Odd Villain, what's going on, my friend? Bobby, Nexus Eagles, Ben Myers, hello. Mr. Chicken is here. Hello. Neil, a living Yeti, one of our members. What is happening, my friend? Gregory, hello. Orioles is here. What's going on? How you doing? Bob, Nikki, Bobby Nardone, Vitsky. How are we doing, everyone? Who else we got? We got a few more people coming in. Frosty, how you doing? John Sullivan, hello. He Struck Man, Sean Gallagher, what is going on? Wafers, 1077. Alex, hello. Michael, what is going on, my friend? How are we doing? Everyone, welcome to week 2 of the Power Rankings. I usually would do these on Sunday night. But I did a video yesterday. Well, first off, I had a busy day yesterday. Unexpected busy day yesterday. Got caught up in running some errands, and I kind of misjudged my time yesterday. And I did a video on my top 10 storylines for this coming month. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But that video took longer than I thought it would. I thought I could bang it out in probably like an hour or so. And no, kind of shot myself in the foot. I could have been ready for the Power Rankings last night, but it just would have been so late. So I just didn't even want to take a chance on it. So I figured, let's just wait till tonight. I actually wanted to go live a little earlier, but what do you know? I'm just getting caught up with a whole bunch of stuff over here. So, but yeah, the Power Rankings. Let's get to it. There's going to be a lot of changes in this week's Power Rankings. And that's normal for the beginning of a year. You know, it's kind of weird to do power rankings like the first couple of weeks because you really don't know, what these teams are. That first month is kind of like a feeler of a month, get an idea of what these teams are, see their strengths, see their weaknesses, and so on. So really right around now is a good time to start doing power rankings. I even thought last week was a little too soon, but hey, here we are, week 2. There will be some changes. There are some quite a bit of ups and downs compared to last week. So be ready for all of that. Everyone, a few announcements before I do get started here. But before I get to those, if you can, that is not the right button. There's the right button. If you can, hit that subscribe button for me. If you are new, hit that like button for me. Hit the bell notification as well. Share the stream out there if you can. If you got Twitter, if you got Instagram, if you got whatever else, Facebook, I don't care what it is. Go down the road, talk to grandma, let her know we're live. Hopefully we're going to get some more people trickle on in. Again, it is not our normal night to do the power rankings, so I'm not expecting a big turnout for tonight. But hey, let's see what we can do. So we also have a partnership with SeatGeek, $20 off. Use my code HIDE for your first purchase. And then as well, Prize Picks. If you're looking to win a few extra bucks, if you're into the sports betting game, go on Prize Picks, play the over-unders, use my code Ginger. They'll give you a 100% deposit match. Also, really quick, everyone, a big announcement. Well, before I do get to the big one, this one has actually, I've already announced it, but it is looking official at this point. So taking a look here, as you can see, well, you can't really see the picture fully, but Bros versus Pros. It is official. I will be joining some of these amazing baseball YouTubers. I'm going to be joining RBT, King of Juco, Eric Sims himself, the Urinating Shri, Scooter Magruder, Giraffe Neck Mark is going to be there. But the guy that put it all together, 5 Points Vids, he's the guy that he did an amazing job here, put everything together. Stark Raving Sports is going to be here as well. Fuzzy, Foolish Baseball will be there in some capacity. I'm not exactly sure what he will be doing. Baseball Quotes is going to be there. And hey, there's going to be some other YouTubers there as well. So it's an honor to be able to join in on this. It's going to be in North Carolina. I'm going to be stepping in the box against minor league pitchers. I mean, it kind of blows my mind, honestly. We're going up against the Burlington Sock Puppets and the Carolina Disco Turkeys. The first game is going to be on June 1st at 2 p.m. And June 3rd, we go up against the Disco Turkeys. Not sure what time that will be, but hey, it's pretty awesome, honestly. It's still, I got to get to the batting cages here because I got to try and catch up to some of this high heat these guys are going to be throwing. But here is the big announcement. I just got word of it today. It's pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to do this last year. I wasn't able to, but it is official now. I will be able to be joining in on the Major League Baseball Game of the Week on YouTube every week. If you remember last year, I don't know if a lot of you really caught it last year, but the Game of the Week last year, it was on YouTube once a week, and only YouTube baseball content creators were allowed to be in the chat. And I was recommended this year to be in the chat. I'm really excited for this. This is something I've really wanted to do. So it's an honor. Major League Baseball, thank you for, if you ever see this for some reason, but thank you for letting me join in on this. This is pretty cool. Not going to lie. So, but yeah, May 5th, that's going to be the first game for the YouTube Game of the Week. Nationals against the Rockies. The first few games, not the most exciting, but we got the Nationals and the Rockies. Then we got Brewers, Reds, and then Diamondbacks, Cubs, Tigers, Twins, Royals, Guardians, Blue Jays, Royals. But I'm really excited for June 15th, the Twins and the Mariners. I think that is going to be a pretty good game. So, hey, hopefully they keep adding in some really good games for the YouTube Game of the Week. But one more time, if you are just coming in, I am officially a part of the YouTube Game of the Week. Very excited for this. Major League Baseball, thank you very much for that. So, enough of me rambling. So, I'm very excited for these things coming up. It's going to be amazing being able to participate in this minor league baseball players versus YouTube content creators in North Carolina. Just booked my flights today, just booked my hotel. I'm pretty excited for it. And as a teacher, thank goodness I have a summer vacation because, without that, I wouldn't be able to do it. So, really excited for it. Big things coming up on the channel here, everyone. We're starting to get some more people trickle on in. Again, if you are coming in, apologies for last night. Wasn't able to go live, so pushed it for tonight. So, let's get to it here, everyone. Let's go over my power rankings last week before I really dive into things for this week. So, let me just get the music on. Here we go. 1 second. Okay, so also really quick, I do just want to mention this as well. I'm not really, this is why I don't like to do the power rankings on Mondays. I like to do them on Sunday nights because we got some games going on right now. I'm really not focusing on these games very much. I mean, because these are all based off of last week. So again, that's why I like to do it on Sunday night. So I do see we had some finals this for today. The Cardinals beat the Royals earlier today, and the White Sox were able to split with the Angels earlier. We got a good matchup with the Yankees and the Blue Jays going on right now. Twins, Orioles, that's a close one on the top of the ninth. But again, I'm not really looking at these right now. I know we got the Braves and the Mets as well. So again, looking more at last week. Don't, if you see one of your teams wherever I put them and you're like, oh, but they're winning right now. I'm not really looking at tonight's games. I'm looking at everything from last week. So here were music on. Okay. Here were my rankings last week. And, again, it was kind of early to be doing these power rankings, to be completely honest with you. It was last week. You're still in April. Really, you can't have appropriate. You can do the preseason power rankings. I think that's fine. But to, switch up power rankings after 1 week, or 2 weeks or even 3, it's just so soon. So this is the sweet spot for me to start. Last week, I kind of just did it, just to do it. Why not? But this week, we're really going to dive in. So pretty excited for it. But just for reference, last week we had the Dodgers, Giants, Mets, Yankees, and Mariners 1 through 5. 6 through 10, we had the Cardinals, Blue Jays, Rays, Brewers, and the Rockies. 11 through 15, we had the Twins, the Padres, the A's, the Angels, and the Marlins. 16 through 20, we had the Cubs, the Astros, the Braves, the Guardians, and my Red Sox. 21 through 25, we had the Tigers, the Phillies, the White Sox, the Orioles, and the Royals. And then in the last tier, 26 through 30, Rangers, Diamondbacks, Pirates, Nationals, and the Reds. So the way I am going to be doing this, as always, if you are new to the power rankings, I always take a look at the standings overall in Major League Baseball. I don't really go in ABC order. I go from last place in the major leagues all the way up to first place. So let's get into it here. I got all my notes ready. We're going to fly through these. So usually what I like to do, I like to kind of go a little quicker from 30 to 15, and then I like to put a little more emphasis in the top half of the power rankings. So let's just start off with the Cincinnati Reds. What else is there to say? 3-19, 1-9 in their last 10. They've lost 6 straight. They are awful. We are going to put the Reds down here at number 30 to start things off. Coming in at number 29, I have the Washington Nationals. Now, hey, they're 29th overall for me right now. I think there's an argument for... Oh, we got a super chat coming in here early on. Heems with a $4.99 super chat. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for Hunter Renfroe and taking on Bradley's contract as a Brewers fan. I'm gonna rant in a little bit about Jackie Bradley Jr., man. If you want to hear a rant, stay tuned, please, because I'm ready. I'm absolutely ready for it. Oh my God! But Hunter Renfroe doing good for the Brewers. I'm glad he's continuing to hit some home runs with the Brewers. And you know what? With Jackie Bradley Jr., I was okay with getting the glove, but I was more excited about getting the prospects. I loved getting Benelis in return. I think he can end up being a really good player. So that was what I was more excited about with the trade. At least with Bradley, you're going to be getting a glove, but it's not really working out too well right now, is it? But Heems, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Really do appreciate that. Coming in at number 29, we have the Nationals. They're 2-8 in their last 10. However, the offense did look really good last week. They ranked 8th overall. Robles was 9 for 18. Escobar was 5 for 12. Josh Bell was 8 for 22. Even Cesar Hernandez was hitting well, 9 for 28 last week. Yadiel Hernandez, 7 for 21 as well. Juan Soto, off to a bit of a slow start, but you can see he's starting to get a little more warm at the plate. Last week, he went 7 for 27. He had that one game with the weird defensive swing. How the heck do you even do that? Especially coming from a lefty, a fastball. It's like, how the heck did he even make contact on that? Just wackadoodle. Juan Soto, even when he does something like that, he just blows my mind. So, but the offense did look really good for the Nationals last week. The starting pitching was okay. It was middle of the road overall. Patrick Corbin is starting to look like he's turning it around. Josiah Gray, he looked pretty good in 2 starts last week. The bullpen wasn't really effective. It was 22nd overall in FIP. So this is not really a whole lot going on for the Nationals. I mean, sure, the offense was good. The starting pitching was okay, but just not a whole lot going on. So they come in at number 29 for me. What are we seeing here in the chat? Ball cap. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much, my friend. Congrats on the YouTube game of the week. Ball cap. Try and contact Major League Baseball. I'm sure they'll let you in. I don't see why they wouldn't. If they let my dopey self in, I'm sure they'll get you in as well. I just contacted Major League Baseball, and then they just reached out to me. So, ball cap, thank you so much. Thank you for being here tonight. Welcome to Power Rankings. Here we go. 60 people in the chat. We're starting to get a few more people. Coming in at number 28, taking a look here, we have the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers. I thought about putting them a little higher, but overall, I just was not really impressed with, even though they have these really good bats, Overall last week, only 21st in WRC+. The relief pitching was not very good last week, ranked 24th in FIP. However, despite losing 3 out of 4 to the Astros and 2 out of 3 to the Braves, the starting pitching looked really good with the Rangers last week. Dane Dunning, Taylor Hearn, they looked great. Martin Perez, an old friend, 7 good innings last week. The Rangers starting pitching, that was looking abysmal in the first few weeks there, but it actually looked pretty good last week. So, hey, the Rangers coming in at 28 for me. Coming in at number 27, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates. Coming in at 27, got swept by the Brewers, lost 2 out of 3 to the Padres. They were 28th in WRC Plus last week, 17th in FIP for the starting pitching. They were 23rd in relief pitching last week. Mitch Keller did look pretty good last week, but just not a whole lot going on here with the Pirates. So we got the Royals coming up next at number 26 to fill out the bottom tier. Swept by the Yankees, but before that, they did win 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. So that White Sox team, they're really struggling right now. They're banged up. So overall with the Royals, they're 26. They were 26 in WRC Plus last week and 24th in FIP with the starting pitching. The bullpen, it was looking pretty good the first few weeks, but last week they ranked dead last in FIP. So the Royals, they are crashing down to earth here. So Kansas City, they're rounding out the bottom tier. Starting off in the next tier, we have the Diamondbacks coming in at 25. The Diamondbacks, I loved their starting pitching last week. They looked really good, and this is why I think this Diamondbacks team could go on some sort of a run. Look out for this Diamondbacks team because they got some starting pitching that looks like it's clicking. Gallen, Bumgarner, Merrill Kelly, Zach Davies, they all looked really good last week. So keep an eye out for the Diamondbacks with the starting pitching. The offense is going to have to improve. 29th in WRC Plus last week. The bullpen was fine. It was 17th in relief pitching last week, but, you would like to see more from that bullpen. And that bullpen, it's not the best out there. You got a couple of good arms. I do like Melanson there, but they're going to have to do more. The starting pitching carried them last week. They split with the Cardinals, and they did win a series against the Dodgers last week. So I'm just saying, don't sleep on these Diamondbacks. If one good run, who knows? Who knows? But right now, they are still in the second to bottom tier for me. Here we go. Coming in at number 24, I got my Red Sox. This is coming into this year, right? Coming into this year, I knew this was not going to be like last year. Last year, they were overachievers last year. I fully knew that. I thought they were going to be good last year. I didn't think they were going to be that good. They definitely were playing ahead of expectations. The Red Sox this year, I saw them taking a step back this year. And I didn't see them taking this much of a step back. I know it's early. It's only May. But oh my goodness, losing a series to the Orioles this past weekend. Let me start off with the good. Let me start off with the good for the Red Sox before I really start to lose it. The starting pitching did look good last week. They ranked 5th overall in FIP last week. They had good starts from Eovaldi, Hill, Waka, Whitlock even looked good in his opening start. Pivetta, he is off to a pretty bad start overall this year, but his FIP last week over 2 starts was a 1.98. So Pivetta, I think, is coming around a little bit, but that's it. That's all there was for the Red Sox last week. This offense is awful. I can't take it with this offense. Taking a look at the offense last week in WRC, or actually, let me click on WRC Plus here. With the WRC Plus, they ranked 27th last week. Alex Verdugo, 3 for 25. Jackie Bradley Jr., 1 for 27. Jackie Bradley Jr., I don't know what the heck you're doing. Last year when you were with the Brewers, you were going out there golfing all the time. What the heck are you doing? You're 1 for 27. Oh, come on. We got to pick up the pace, Jackie Bradley Jr. What are we doing? We're 1 for 27. Bobby Dahlbeck, you want another strikeout, my friend? 2 for 16 last week, 7 strikeouts and 16 ABs. Trevor Story, 9 strikeouts, went 4 for 22 last week. Xander Bogaerts can't carry this offense. Rafael Devers can't carry the offense. We got to get some guys hitting. Don't even get me started with the relief pitching. Cutter Crawford, get out of here. I'm so done with Cutter Crawford. He looked great when I went to Tropicana Field and he pitched a few innings, few scoreless innings. I'm thinking, oh man, maybe we got something with Cutter Crawford. Finally, we have something. Nope, get out of here. I'm done. Last week, an 11.57 ERA. I don't care about the FIP being a lot lower. It was still a 4.8. Cutter Crawford, please go have a sandwich. Get out of here. I'm done. Matt Barnes, I'm done. You have just not had it since like whatever it was last year. I don't know if you need the sticky stuff. I don't know what it is. But please get out of here, Matt Barnes. I'm just done. I had someone coming after me on Twitter the other day where I tweeted out, send Matt Barnes to the sun. And then whoever it was, he was like, well, that double that Cedric Mullins hit off of him, it was an expected batting average of 160. I don't care. Matt Barnes is so hittable right now. His curveball stinks compared to what it used to be. His velocity is down. This guy can't, or he's walking guys. He's hittable and he's walking guys. Sure, the numbers aren't looking terrible this year, but I'm so tired of this guy coming in at the end of games and just not locking it down. Matt Barnes, go have a sandwich. Tyler Danish. Who the heck, what is even going on? Who is Tyler Danish? The only Danish that I want right now, raspberry and cheese warmed up in a nice oven. Tyler Danish, get the heck out of here. I'm done. You can't have Whitlock just bailing these guys out all the time. The bullpen, we got to step it up. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. We just lost to the Orioles. We got our heinies kicked yesterday. We were down 9-1 at one point. What the heck is going on? I'm over it. This Red Sox team stinks. I'm just over it. I'm done. Red Sox, they're coming in at number 24 for me. Kill me now. Coming in at number 23. You know what? This team overall with the statistics, not looking really actually with the Red Sox, they're actually looking better in the statistics. But you know what? With the Orioles, I'm putting them ahead. You just beat the Red Sox this past weekend. The Orioles, I'm putting you ahead of the Red Sox. Congratulations. You got swept by the Yankees this past week, but you did some good against my Red Sox. I think, honestly, my Red Sox just played some bad baseball. But whatever. I'm going to give it to you, Baltimore. You did pretty good here. You were 15th in WRC plus last week. Austin Hayes hit 348 last week. Odor hit 300 last week. Santander had 2 home runs. The relief pitching, if we take a look at the relief pitching, let's actually go to the relief pitching here. Taking a look with overall on the year, Baltimore has their 15th in FIP at a 3.60. However, when you're looking at everything, Baltimore actually ranks second. So I like to look at FIP overall because I feel like it just paints a better picture of what the picture is, of what they can control. So Baltimore coming in at number 15 with FIP. But last week, if we take a look here with Baltimore for the relief pitching, overall, they ranked 26 with the relief pitching last week. So not doing as good as they have been for the whole season. But overall, you know what? I'm tired of my Red Sox. I'm putting the Orioles in front of them. I don't care. Maybe this is more emotional than anything. But this Red Sox team, you got to pick up the pace. I'm putting the Orioles in front of them. I'm sorry. Coming in at number 22, I have the Tigers. The Tigers coming in at number 22. They got swept by a red-hot Minnesota Twins team. They lost 2 of 3 against the Dodgers. Not really good numbers with the offense. Not really a whole lot going on with the starting pitching, but the bullpen was really good last week. They ranked 3rd overall in FIP. Chafin, Peralta, Vest, Fulmer, Lang, they all looked really good in that Tigers bullpen last week. Give it up for the Tigers bullpen. But they're going to really need to pick it up with the offense. They're going to have to pick it up with the starting pitching. I mean, again, 29th in FIP last week with the starting pitching. That needs to get better. So Josh is here. Did the Yankees win? Did the Yankees pull it out? Oh, Yankees beating the Blue Jays. Yankees beating the Blue Jays. What ended up happening? I saw it was tied really quick. Let's take a look. We got 74 people in the chat. What's going on, everyone? How are we doing? Oh, they scored in the top of the ninth. What happened? Oh, Gleyber. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry. Oh, Gleyber Torres had a home run early on. Oh, he ended up winning the game for him, too. Okay, look at that. Gleyber Torres. It seems like he's kind of finding his mojo in the role that they're having him in. So, good for him. I don't know. Whatever they're doing, it's working for him, it seems. He's coming up with big hits this year. So, Luke 22, welcome, welcome. But the Yankees pulling out the win. We'll have to see where I put the Yankees on the power rankings for this week. But yeah, I'm going to put the Tigers coming in at number 22. The bullpen, big reason for that. So coming in at number 21. Hey, this team's been slumping, but I'm still going to stick with them. You know, White Sox at number 21. There were some good things with the White Sox last week. Luis Robert, home run in his return. They split with the Angels. I know I said I wasn't really going to count today, but hey, whatever. They ended up splitting with the Angels. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Royals. Tim Anderson actually had a good week last week. Hit 375, had a 400 on base, a 542 slugging. Jake Berger, Josh Harrison, they looked pretty good last week. The starting pitching was fine. Vince Velasquez pitching in the rain with Mike Trout. He looked pretty good. Giolito was okay. Dylan Cease was very good. Kopech was okay. Bullpen, middle of the road overall, 16th in FIP. Graveman, he did look really good. Foster, Banks, they continue to impress in that bullpen. With the White Sox, I think they're going to come alive eventually. I think they're going to start getting some guys back. I think they're going to keep getting healthy. And I do think they're going to get back to some winning ways here eventually. So taking a look at where they're at as of right now, they're 9-13. They're 3-7 in their last 10. So luckily that division, it's still, you know, obviously it's very early, but the division itself, it's still very tight. Only, I believe if we go take a look at the division standings, I think they're what, 4 back in the division? 4.5 back. So the Twins are red hot. We're going to talk about them here in a little bit. But for now, I'm going to put the White Sox at number 21. Coming in at number 20, we got the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs really, there's not a whole lot going on with the Cubs right now. They're fading a bit. Their numbers are starting to dip. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Braves and the Brewers last week. They were dead last in WRC plus last week. That offense just was not very good. They were 28th in starting pitching. They were 28th in relief pitching. The Cubs, we got to start picking up the pace here. I mean, these other teams have just been I guess you could make an argument for the Tigers maybe to be here instead. You could maybe drop the Cubs down. Maybe, you know, the Tigers bullpen was really good last week. Could you put the Tigers here? Could you even make a case for the Diamondbacks? But the Cubs' overall numbers are what are keeping them up this high. If we take a look at the Chicago Cubs with the offense, the Cubs, they're 15th overall still on the year despite having the bad week last week. With the starting pitching, I mean, it's pretty much in line. What they did last week is pretty much in line with what they did in all of April, 28th overall. And if we take a look at the relief pitching, the Cubs this was last week. Oh, did I actually look at the wrong thing? Oh, I think I actually I made a boo-boo here. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, I didn't click on FIP. Again, I like to look at FIP when it comes to, you know, looking at, that's the big number I like to look at personally. So when we take a look at FIP, they were 25th overall. When it came to the overall bullpen, the Cubs were 9th. So that is one thing that is helping them out for this week. If we take a look at how they did how they're doing for this year, here's the relief pitching, the Cubs. So they actually ranked 12th overall in FIP on the year. So they did have a bad week last week. Last week, I had them at number 16. So they have dropped to number 20. So bad week last week for the Chicago Cubs. Coming in at number 19, I have the Oakland A's. They're starting to come back down to earth. They dropped 6 spots overall from last week's power rankings. They were 13th last week. And again, last week, it's too early. So the A's, it was kind of weird just seeing them there at that spot. But the numbers, that's where I had them with the numbers. But they are starting to come back down to earth. They come in at number 19. They got swept by Cleveland. They did split with the Giants this past week, but they were 24th in WRC+, 26 in starting pitching FIP. Sheldon Noose had a 632 slugging last week. For the pitching, Blackburn, Irvin, they did look pretty good. The bullpen was actually pretty good last week. They were 12th overall in FIP. Puck was really good. AJ Puck, he had no earned runs, and he struck out 5 guys. So keep an eye out for AJ Puck. Danny Jimenez, Adam Kolarek, Sam Mull, neither of those guys gave up any runs last week. Zach Johnson, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts last week. So, there were some good things about the A's. They had 1 win against the Giants, but again, the A's and the Cubs, they're starting to come back down to earth a little bit. Coming in at number 18, we have the Atlanta Braves. I feel like they're close. I think they're starting to pick up some energy a little bit. If we take a look, the Braves, they actually stay. They're staying at number 18 for this week. So with the Atlanta Braves, hey, the big story this past week, Ronald Acuna Jr. coming back. But overall, with the offense last week, WRC Plus ranked 20th. However, I want to take note of, I believe I'm saying his name right, Travis Demerit. He's off to a really good start. He's giving some energy to this Braves team. Take a look at his numbers so far. 375 batting average. He's got a 444 on base, a 708 slugging. Look at the OPS, over 1,100. Are you kidding me? Demerit. Okay, sorry. It's Travis Demerit. So, but he is giving some life to this Braves team. Even with Ronald Acuna Jr. coming back, it's nice to see, someone like this where if you take a look here at what he's done, I mean, he did play a little bit in 2019. He was with the Tigers and 2020 as well. He was with the Tigers from 2019 to 2020, but just wasn't really doing all that much with them. So it's nice to see him, playing this well with the Atlanta Braves. Let me actually here go to his minor league numbers. What the heck is going on? What are we doing? Why can't I click on this? Here we go. So his minor league numbers, taking a look last year. So he spent all of last year in the minor leagues. So if you take a look, in 82 games overall, he hit 285. He had 22 home runs and 58 RBIs. He had a 370 on base, a 588 slugging. He did really well in the minors last year. So it looks like that gave him some confidence. Whatever it was that he was working on, it's working right now because this guy is just killing it with the Braves. Again, hitting 375 over 24 at-bats so far. Definitely giving some life for the Atlanta Braves. As for the starting pitching, Kyle Wright, he has just been amazing. Taking a look at Kyle Wright. Let's pull up his numbers here. I just did a video yesterday on my top 10 storylines for the Atlanta for May, and Kyle Wright on the Atlanta Braves. That was one of my storylines. Is he for real? Honestly, I think it looks like he has figured something out. He's using the curveball a lot more, the sinker, the changeup. It's getting better movement. I think he's on his way to finally figuring it out. This is a high draft pick. So Kyle Wright, last week he had 1 start, 7 innings. I mean, what else is there to say about Kyle Wright? Taking a look at his overall numbers for this year so far. 4 starts, a 1.38 FIP, 12.75 strikeouts per 9, 2.25 walks per 9. Hasn't given up any home runs. Kyle Wright, man, he's doing really good. You got to love it. If you take a look, Max Fried, Ian Anderson, they both pitched 6 innings, got a win. Charlie Morton, Muller, Elder, just kind of last week. I don't know. Muller is he got hit pretty hard, and Morton is, I mean, he didn't even get out of the 3rd inning last week. So the relief pitching, though, taking a look at the relief pitching, the Atlanta Braves overall, when it comes to Fangraph WAR for last week, they ranked 5th. If you take a look at the FIP, I believe they ranked 4th as well. Yeah, they ranked 4th in FIP last week. So that bullpen is really starting to shine. So give it up for the Atlanta Braves bullpen. Let's see if they can keep that going. What the heck is going on here? Hold on. I swear, I get everything all set up, and then I end up messing something up. So, whatever. I can just look at the overall numbers. Minter right now, he's off to a great start this year. 0.90 FIP. Look at the strikeouts per 9. Kenley Jansen already has 6 saves with his new team. Jesse Chavez, he has a negative FIP. He's doing great. Colin McHugh, looks like he is fitting in right at home. Sure, the ERA is a little high at 5.63, but the FIP is 2.21. Hey, this Braves bullpen, we all knew it was going to be good. It looks like they're rounding into form. For right now, I'm going to hold with the Braves. I'm going to stay at number 18. I definitely think they're going to start having, getting some more wins. Coming in at number 7, I have the Cleveland Guardians. Hey, kind of a weird week last week. They got swept by the Angels, and then they swept Oakland. So kind of an up and down week for the Cleveland Guardians, but there was a lot to like about them last week. Jose Ramirez, 3 home runs. He hit .292 with a .433 on base, a .750 slugging. Andres Jimenez, he hit well last week. He also played some great defense last week. Go check out some Andres Jimenez highlights. He looked really good. Miles Straw hit .320 last week. Steven Kwan, hey, that's my Rookie of the Year pick. Steven Kwan, he was dealing with a bit of a hamstring issue this past week, but he did play well in the 2 games that he played in. As for the pitching, Tristan McKenzie, he looked good this past week. Shane Bieber, he looked good in a couple of starts. He got the loss against the Angels, but he's looking all right. Cal Quantrill, he looked decent. He took a loss, but the bullpen is where it's at for the Cleveland Guardians. They ranked 2nd overall last week. They had a 2.19 FIP. No home runs allowed out of that bullpen last week. Emmanuel Clace, he had a couple of saves. Stefan, Hentges, Sandlin, no earned runs from those guys. The Cleveland Guardians bullpen is looking really good. If we take a look, last week, I had the Guardians at number 19. So they have jumped up a couple of spots here to number 17. Taking a look at number 16, finishing off the bottom half of the power rankings, we got the Phillies. They're making some moves. They jumped up 6 spots here. Last week on the power rankings, they ranked number 22 overall, but they're starting to hit their stride a little bit. This Phillies team, man, oh man, if this team gets hot, that offense, that's a scary offense to get hot. So look out, man. Look out. But for the Phillies last week, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets. But they did sweep Colorado. So overall, it was a fine week for the Phillies. But I think they're close. They're starting to mesh. You're starting to see this team start to come together a little bit. It felt like there wasn't really anything going on with the Phillies in the first few weeks, but they're starting to hit like crazy, man. Overall, the offense now ranks 11th on the year. They were 10th last week. Schwarber, he went in. Oh, we got a super chat. What's going on? Frodo Serta, can I get a whoo? Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Frodo, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I don't know. Wait, why am I not connecting with that? What am I missing? Tell me in the chat. I can't think of what you're trying to say. But taking a look here, the offense, Kyle Schwarber, 3 home runs, a .938 slugging last week. He was just terrorizing the Mets. My goodness, Kyle Schwarber, please go easy on the Mets, my friend. Taking a look here, Harper, 2 home runs last week. He's starting to heat up a little bit. Hit .320 last week. Alec Bohm, hey, this is a guy that basically said, man, I hate this place. But, hey, hit .320 last week. Or not .320. He had 5 RBIs last week. So, Alec Bohm, thank God that bat is coming through for Alec Bohm, man. So, taking a look at the starting pitching, they're 14th overall on the year. Wheeler, Suarez, they looked good last week. Nola, he took a loss, but he had 9 strikeouts. Eflin, he had a 3.76 FIP last week. The relief pitching, 14th on the year. But who would have thought this Phillies bullpen would start to make some moves? Are we finally seeing a pretty good Phillies bullpen? Are we finally seeing it? I hope so, because they were 8th last week in FIP. Norwood, Nelson, Familia, Knable, they all looked good last week. This Phillies bullpen, again, they ranked 8th overall in relief pitching last week. So look out for the Phillies. They're making some moves. They jumped up 6 spots in my power rankings this week. Alrighty, we are halfway through. Really quick, just to take a quick little break. Oh, actually, I'm seeing a super chat coming in from Frodo again. He says, duck the Fogers. I see what you did there, my friend. I see what you did there. Enough said. Go Giants, says Frodo Serta. What is going on, my friend? How you doing? Thank you for all the support, Frodo. You're amazing. Joe Hill with a $5 super chat coming on in. Here comes the first super chat that popped up on the screen. There's Frodo. Thank you so much. Joe Hill, $5 super chat. You say here, Miggy, only player ever with 500 homers, 3,000 hits, and a triple crown. Joe Hill, man, he is, me and Josh were talking about Miguel Cabrera last Monday. And, man, it's just crazy. I think he is one of the most underrated best players of all time. I feel like you don't ever hear Miguel Cabrera in that conversation. One of the best hitters of all time, man. You got to love what he's done, man. And I believe he just got his first home run of the season this past weekend. Well, I think he hit a home run against the Dodgers, right? That was his first one. Yeah, it was his first home run. So, overall in the year, he's, not doing amazing right now. To me, I think Miguel Cabrera is he's more there now for that veteran leadership, kind of like Pujols, where he's almost like a player coach. I really just think that is what, Miguel Cabrera is really there for at this point. He's going to do a little bit with the bat, but that'd be cool, man. If Miguel Cabrera, if he can, get hot, that'd be cool. If he can finish with 20 home runs, something like 70 RBIs, that'd be nice. I don't know. Will he get it? We'll have to wait and see. But Tom Dower, you're saying the Phillies have an incredibly difficult schedule for May. I was taking a look at some of the schedules for some of these teams. There are some tough schedules coming up for some of these teams. A great place to go look, Fangraphs. I know you all know that I love Fangraphs, but if you take a look at the projected standings, they will give you, where is it? Where is it? Standings. Oh, wait, no, it's under the playoff odds. So it'll actually give you the strength of schedule for the rest of all the for the teams. It tells you the strength of schedule for the rest of the season, which is more of a projection in itself. But the Nationals, they have the hardest schedule ahead according to their projections, and the easiest right now is the Astros, believe it or not. So if you take a look at the rest of the season win percentage, the Blue Jays, they got a tough schedule according to the current win percentages. 579 win percentage for the rest of the year. Dodgers got a tough schedule. Braves. It's funny because the strength of schedule for the Astros says 487, but the rest of season win percentage says 562. Very funny. And the Orioles, taking a look here, rest of the season win percentage 390. So, am I reading this wrong? Or is that what they're projecting their win percentage to be for the rest of the year? I thought I read something different on Fangraphs. I think what I said, the second part, that makes more sense. Never mind, I don't know. But disregard what I just said. Oh, Frodo, what's going on? Have you heard Pulling the Goalie by Malcolm Gladwell? I have not. I'll have to go take a listen to that, my friend. I'll have to go take a listen. I always like listening to new things. Frodo, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. But yeah, so according to the Fangraph, strength of schedule, the Nationals have the hardest schedule ahead, while the Astros, White Sox, Blue Jays have the easiest. So yeah, I think this actually is what Fangraphs thinks their win percentage is going to be for the rest of the season. I thought it was their opponents, but strength of schedule is actually, I guess, all they use here. So, but the Dodgers, they're saying the strength of schedule for the rest of their season's 496. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Really quick, before I do move on to the second half of the Power Rankings, if anyone is new, think about hitting that subscribe button. Hit that like button for me. Share the stream if you can on Twitter. What else is there? I forgot. What am I trying to... Wait, hold on 1 second. What is going on with my stream? There we go. Here we go. Also, hit the bell notification as well. And also, if you weren't here when I announced this earlier, taking a look, Bros versus Pros, YouTubers playing professional baseball players. In baseball, we're going to be playing actual professional baseball players. Not a wiffle ball game. We're not playing disc golf. We're not doing any of that. We're playing actual baseball. I'm going to be out there. RBT is going to be there. King of Juco, Urinating Tree, Scooter Magruder, Giraffe Neck Mark, 5 Points Vids is the one that put this whole thing together. We got Stark Raving Sports. Fuzzy's going to be there. Baseball Quotes. Foolish Baseball will be there in some capacity. There's going to be some other baseball YouTubers out there. It's going to be an exciting experience. And also, just announced it earlier if you weren't here for it. Major League Baseball, they have invited me to be a part of the Major League Baseball Game of the Week where I'm going to be able to talk in the chat. So, hey, if you want to come see what my dopey self has to say in the chat for these games, hey, catch these games of the week. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, alrighty, let's get to the next part of the power rankings. Let's get to the second half. Here we go. Alrighty, starting off at number 15. We have the Houston Astros. Where are the Astros? Here we go. Coming in at number 15. The Astros last week, I had them at number 17, so they jump up a couple of spots here. The Astros are starting to come alive. They won 3 out of 4 against Texas, but man, the Blue Jays are their kryptonite this year. They have played the Blue Jays a couple of times, and they have lost both series to those Blue Jays. So, could you imagine that? Could you imagine if those two teams are in a playoff series? Man, oh man, that's going to be very fun to watch. But they're playing each other hard. When you look at those games, they're all pretty close. They're all going late, deep into the games, tight games. I really have been enjoying watching those two teams play each other. For this year, the offense has been lagging. The starting pitching has been lagging, but the relief pitching ranks 8th in FIP, and they're 4th in defensive runs saved. The Astros are a very good defensive team. Now, not necessarily saying a great defensive team is, going to win a World Series. You don't necessarily have to have an amazing defense to win a World Series, but I am a sucker for defense. I do like when guys can flash the leather out there. So the Houston Astros overall 4th in defensive runs saved on the year. For last week, the offense was coming alive a little bit. It does help against some Texas Rangers suspect pitching. The starting pitching for the Rangers was actually good last week. The bullpen, not so much. But Alvarez, this guy hit 6 home runs last week. What the heck? Pena, Bregman, Tucker, all 3 of those guys had 4 home runs. Altuve, he's still slumping a little bit. We got to get Altuve going for those Astros. The starting pitching, not bad necessarily, but they were 23rd in FIP, so be aware of that. The starting pitching was 4-2 on the week. Verlander, Odorizzi, very good. Christian Javier, Jose Urquidy, they both went 5 innings. Each of those guys got a win. Framber Valdez did pitch well this week. He had 6 innings in both starts. He didn't come away with a win in either start. He did get a loss in one, so didn't really have all that much to show for his good week. The bullpen, they are without Ryan Pressly right now, dealing with a knee issue. There's not really a timetable for his return, but they're keeping it up without him. They were 13th last week in FIP. Hector Neris, no earned runs last week. Stanek, Montero, both of those guys had saves. But again, as soon as Ryan Pressly can come back, the better. Obviously, Ryan Pressly, very good. The Astros, they're going to need him eventually if they want to start winning some more games. Coming in at number 14, we got the Rockies. I had them at number 10 last week, so they fall out of the top 10. It feels like the Rockies are starting to come back down to earth, kind of like the Cubs, kind of like the A's, but the Rockies are still hanging around up here. When we take a look at the overall standings, they're still hanging around. They won 3 straight over the weekend. Hey, they're sticking around, and I'm just saying, this Rockies team, I will not be surprised at all if they end up sticking around throughout the summer. I think they have a pretty good team. Will they be able to hold up? I'm not quite sure. For this year, they are 8th in WRC+. They are 14th in starting pitching and 20th in relief pitching. This past week, they were 7th in WRC+. CJ Cron, 8 home runs on the year, 2 this past week. Ryan McMahon had a good week, 7 for 22. Jose Iglesias hit 346 last week. Kyle Freeland for the starting pitching, 2 earned runs over 12 innings, not too bad, but the starting pitching overall ranked 18th, and the relief pitching as well ranked 18th overall. Bard, Lawrence, Colomé, Gilbreth, no earned runs between those guys, but other than those guys, there wasn't really a whole lot of effectiveness going on in that Rockies bullpen. So the Rockies, they do come in at 14 for me. If we take a look at what they did last week, back and forth week, they did sweep the Phillies, but then they got swept. They got swept by the Phillies, and then they swept the Reds. So, the Reds, when you're going up against that team, you got to win those games. So the Rockies took care of business against them. They do drop 4 spots in the power rankings this week, so we'll have to wait and see how they do for this coming week. Coming in at number 13, I have the St. Louis Cardinals. They took a bit of a tumble here. Last week, I had the Cardinals coming in at number 6. So for them to come in at number 13, that's a big drop. 7 spots down from last week. I do love the Cardinals, but last week, they had a hard-fought series against the Mets, but then they also lost 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. So not a great week overall, only a couple of wins. So 17th in WRC+. They were 11th in starting pitching on the year, and they're 19th in relief pitching. However, we all know the Cardinals. They got a lot of glove there. They're 6th right now in defensive runs saved. But another thing with the St. Louis Cardinals, while the offense is kind of middle of the road at this point. Nolan Arenado is doing amazing, by the way, but overall the offense is a bit middle of the road. They are 4th when it comes to clutch hitting, so keep that in mind with the St. Louis Cardinals. They have come up big this year, but last week the offense only 22nd in WRC+. Nolan Arenado, he continues to have a great season. Just like I said, hit 381 this past week. He's right at the top of the leaderboards when we take a look at the Fangraph leaders. Looking at his numbers overall on the year, he ranks 2nd in Fangraph WAR. He's hitting 368 with a 435 on base, a 697 slugging, 18 RBIs, 6 home runs, great defense. Nolan Arenado, he is a bona fide MVP candidate. Hopefully he stays healthy this year. He is looking fantastic. He's definitely going to have some competition with guys like Manny Machado, Juan Soto. He's probably going to pick it up here eventually, so be aware of that. As for the starting pitching, last week the Cardinals, they ranked 21st in starting pitching when it came to the FIP. So pulling up the Cardinals here, as you can see, wait, no, they weren't 20. Wait, no, hold on. Wrong way. 21st in starting pitching. They were 1-3 overall. There's not a lot of strikeout guys with the Cardinals, so don't expect to see a lot of strikeouts when it comes to this Cardinals team this year. They're going to be more focused on putting the ball in play, having their defense do more of the work. They're just trying to keep the home runs down, try and keep the walks down as much as they can. But if we take a look at some of these guys from last week, I don't want the Giants. I want the St. Louis Cardinals. There we go. But Miles Mikolas, man. I mean, can we give it up for this guy? Miles Mikolas, man. Holy cow, he's having a really good year. He's got 5 starts, almost 30 innings pitched. He's got a 1.52 ERA, a 2.89 FIP. Miles Mikolas, man, he's not going to strike out a lot of guys. He's got under 8 strikeouts per 9, but he's not walking a lot of guys. The home runs are down. So, hey, give it up for Miles Mikolas, man. He's doing really good. Dakota Hudson did well last week. He got a win. Adam Wainwright, he was okay, but he ended up getting the loss. Jordan Hicks last week had a couple of opening starts. The numbers weren't very good at all. Steven Matz, he only went 4 innings. While the ERA was 9 last week, the FIP was 1.59. So take that for what you will. He was, he did strike out quite a few guys over those 4 innings. So Steven Matz was a lot better than you might have thought. So keep that in mind. The bullpen, they were 21st overall when it came to relief pitching. Taking a look here, or were they 19th overall? They were 19th overall, apologies. But the bullpen did go 5-1 last week. So keep that in mind. Am I looking at... Oh, no, this is the overall in the year. I am so sorry. They're 19th overall on the year, and they were 21st in relief pitching last week. But overall in the year, the Cardinals bullpen, they've been pretty solid for the most part. So for the Cardinals, I think this is a really good team. I think it's, hey, they just had a tough series with the Mets. There were a lot of emotions flying in that series. Couldn't quite, break out of that slump going up against the Diamondbacks. But with the Cardinals, hey, they come in at number 13 for me. Coming in at number 12, another team. I had them pretty high last week, but they have tumbled a bit. We got the Seattle Mariners coming in at number 12. I know I got some Mariners fans here in the chat, but man, they not like they did horrible last week, but it's more of a combination. And same thing with the Cardinals here. It's more of a combination of these two teams not playing as well, but there's other teams that have just gotten red hot. So don't think this is necessarily all because of how they're playing. It's also in combination with how these other teams are playing. So the Mariners and the Cardinals, they got kind of shoved out of the top 10 mainly because of some other teams. But with the Mariners last week, hey, they had a couple of fun series. They went up against the Rays. They went up against the Marlins. We'll talk about the Marlins here in a little bit. But they lost 2 out of 3 against both of those teams. Overall on the year, the Mariners actually have a very good offense. If we take a look at the Mariners right now, they are second overall in offense. When we take a look at the WRC Plus, they rank 4th overall. So the Mariners, they got some guys here that can put the bat on the ball. However, with the Mariners, the starting pitching only ranks 23rd on the year. If we're pulling up the numbers for the year, where are the numbers for the year? Come on, help me out here. Here we go. Let me just pull this up here. With the Mariners. Let me look at their overall rankings. So the Mariners are 22nd in starting pitching, but for the FIP, they rank 24th. So it's not a bad FIP by any means. It's a 4.08. So that's fine. That usually the league average is around like 4.2, 4.3. So a lot of these teams, their FIP is doing well. But they need some guys to start stepping up for them. I feel like some of these guys, they're not quite there yet. If we take a look at this past week, what are we doing here? Just pull up the overall numbers. Here we go. So Logan Gilbert, he is leading the way right now. He's off to an amazing start. I told all of you in my breakout players, did I not say that Logan Gilbert was going to be a breakout guy? I'm just saying he's 4-0 as of right now, 5 starts. He's got a 0.64 ERA. I mean, that's very good. The FIP is higher at 3.05. Sure, the strikeouts could be better. He is right around 8.5, but he's keeping the ball in the yard. He's not walking a whole ton of guys. Logan Gilbert is leading the way for this Mariners team, where it's kind of a surprise where, hey, Cy Young winner Robbie Ray last year, he's not putting up those same kind of numbers. And to be honest with you, I didn't really expect another Cy Young season with Robbie Ray. Overall, his numbers are not bad. It's just the strikeouts you would like to see get knocked or bumped up a little bit. The walks are kind of always around here with Robbie Ray. The ERA is 4.15. The FIP is 4.37. He's really just a league average guy at this point. He's not doing bad necessarily, but Chris Flexen, he's going to be a guy that's going to give you, he's not going to get strikeouts. He's just going to get the defense involved. So the bullpen, as for the Mariners bullpen, let's take a look. The Seattle Mariners bullpen, where are they ranking as of right now? That was a strength for them last year. That Mariners bullpen was incredible. But last week, they only ranked 26 in FIP. So keep in mind of that. Let me pull up the numbers for the whole year. Seattle on the year, they're ranking 21st in FIP. So that bullpen has not really hit its stride as of right now. If we take a look at some of these guys individually, Eric Swanson has been very good. He's been awesome. So that's a great sign for someone like him to be doing really well. Sewald, he's back to being Paul Sewald. Diego Castillo, I loved when they got Diego Castillo. He's been doing really good. Munoz is putting up some good numbers. Mesowicz is putting up some good numbers. Romo's only pitched a couple of innings, but I'm liking what some of these guys are doing in this Mariners bullpen. As a whole, it's not completely as effective as it could be, but some of these guys are really stepping up for them, so I do like that. Overall, I'm going to put the Mariners at number 12. I think that's kind of just a good spot for right now. I could totally see, maybe, I could see an argument for being a top 10. Let me know. Where do you think the Mariners should be? But I will be putting them at number 12. This team, it kind of broke my heart to not put them in the top 10, but I want to see another week. I want to see one more week with this team, the Miami Marlins. Number 11. That's a big jump from last week. The Marlins last week, I had them at number 15. So that they jump up 4 spots here. They were so close for me. They were so close for the top 10. I really did, but I felt like, you know what? I'm just going to hold off for another week. Let's see if they can do it again. But for now, I'm going to put the Mariners at the Marlins at number 11. They're a fun team right now. They're 7th in WRC+. They're 9th in starting pitching. They're 8th in defensive runs saved. They're playing good defense. They're pitching. The offense is heating up. Guys like Jorge Soler are starting to heat up. He had a couple of home runs last week. A lot of guys contributing. There's not really Jazz Chisholm is doing amazing. Look out for Jazz Chisholm, man. This guy could be a sneaky MVP candidate. I could really see something like that. But you got some other guys contributing as well. Jesus Aguilar, Anderson, Birdie. They're getting guys from all over chipping in. The starting pitching. Jesus Luzardo, this guy's back. 6 innings this past week. Had an earned run. Very good. He's looking really, really good. Last week, Lopez, Rogers, Hernandez, all had solid starts. Alcantara did get knocked around a little bit by the Mariners, but starting pitching looked really good with the Marlins last week. The bullpen, 18th overall on the year, but they were 6th last week. Bender had 5 saves last week. Bass, Poteet, I think I'm saying that right, no earned runs last week. I mean, this Marlins team, they're looking good. I just need to see a little bit more. I could totally see. Trust me, I wanted to put them in the top 10. I thought about even putting them at number 8 at one point, but I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to take a breath, and I'm just going to sit back and just let the Marlins, just let them do their thing. And you know what? If they do this another week, they'll be in the top 10. They swept the Nationals last week. They won 2 out of 3 against the Mariners. You got to remember, hey, the Nationals, not a great team, so I want to see what the Marlins are going to do this coming week. Let's actually pull up their schedule. It looks like they lost tonight. Again, I'm not really counting tonight. But what did I say? What did I say about the Diamondbacks? Look out for the Diamondbacks. They're starting to win. Let me actually update these standings here. Or actually, that's not the right one. Let me update these standings. Where are the Diamondbacks at? Look at the Diamondbacks. They're starting to climb up a little bit. 6-4 in their last 10. Just beating the Marlins tonight. But for the Marlins this week, you got the Diamondbacks. I mean, and we were just talking about the Diamondbacks starting pitching. Look at Zach Gallen. Are you kidding me? Zach Gallen tonight, man. Did he get did he do another beauty? Let's see. Zach Gallen, man, went into the 7th inning, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. I'm telling you, this Diamondback starting pitching is looking really good. And that's why in my power rankings, I didn't have him in the bottom tier. I think this team has a run in them. I've been telling you all. But again, they're not there yet. I hope they can pick it up. But good win today for the Diamondbacks. But for the Marlins, we're on the Marlins here. I have them at number 11. But this week, you got a couple more against the D-backs. Big series against the Padres. We're going to talk about the Padres here in a little bit. But this is going to be a big one. This is going to be a test. They're going to be on the road. And if this Marlins team can win this series against the Padres, they're easily in my top 10. Easily. Even if they lose this series to the Diamondbacks and they win this series against the Padres, they'll be in my top 10. This is their test for this coming week. So that's what I'm waiting on. I just want to see what this if this Marlins team is for real, they're going to have to go up against a good team in the Padres. So for right now, I'm going to put the Marlins at number 11. Coming in at number 10, here we go. We're in the top 10. Man, oh man, there's a lot of changes from last week. Let's review last week's top 10. We had the Rockies, the Brewers, the Rays, the Blue Jays, the Cardinals, the Mariners, the Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, and the Dodgers. So, definitely some changes happening in the top 10. We're at 100 people in the chat right now. Again, I usually don't do this on Monday nights. I usually do this on Sunday nights. I wasn't able to go live. Well, I mean, I could have gone live last night, but it would have been so late. We would have been on here until like 1 in the morning. So I held off until today. But really quick, we have 100 people in here. So just in case if anyone is new, think about subscribing down below. Everyone, if you can, before we get to the top 10 here, hit that like button for me. Hit the bell notification. Share this out there if you can. And really quick, just in case if anyone did miss the announcement earlier, hey, me and some other baseball YouTubers, Giraffe Neck Mark, Urinating Tree, Fuzzy, Foolish Baseball will be there in some capacity. We got Eric Sims, RBT, 5 Points Vids. He's the one that's put this all together. We're going to be going up against actual baseball players, you know? And we're going to be playing actual baseball. Baseball YouTubers going up against the Burlington Sock Puppets on June 1st and also going up against the Carolina Disco Turkeys. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me, and I'm really excited for it. So definitely catch this. I got to figure out how I'm going to stream it. I'm guessing I'm going to have to, I don't know. I'm probably going to have to, I'm going to have to figure it out. I don't know. I have only been streaming, you know, for a couple of years now, and I've done it all in my apartment. So I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out how to stream on the road. But also, I did announce earlier, really quick, I'm going to be a part of the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube every single week. I'll be in the chat, so if you want to come see what my potato self has to say in that chat, hey, come out and watch the YouTube MLB Game of the Week. An absolute honor to be a part of this. I really wanted to do it last year. I wasn't able to get in, but pretty cool to be a part of this coming year. Enough of me rambling. Let's get back to the power rankings. Number 10, here we go. Really quick, super chat coming in. Frodo Serta with another super chat. Red Sox suck. Love you, Robbie. I love you, too. My Red Sox are absolutely terrible. We got the Angels coming up. Hopefully, they can turn things around against the Angels. So, let's get to the top 10, shall we? Starting off at number 10, I have the Rays. I still think this team is really good. Not as crisp as they usually are. Last week, they did lose 2 out of 3. There's the super chat. Thank you, Frodo Serta. They lost 2 out of 3 to a red-hot Minnesota Twins team, but they did win 2 out of 3 against the Mariners. So, overall, not a bad week for the Rays. Not a great week overall. You know, just doing their thing. But overall on the year, they're 5th in WRC+, they're 7th in starting pitching FIP, and they're 10th in relief pitching FIP. So, very good numbers overall for the Tampa Bay Rays. Last week, they were 11th in WRC+. They had a lot of guys contributing last week. Kind of like how I was talking about with the Marlins. You just got all these guys, not really any superstars, you know, taking over. They just have a lot of guys contributing. Yandy Diaz last week, he had a .524 on-base percentage. Kiermaier, Walls, Lowe, Franco, they all homered last week. So, a lot of guys doing their thing. the starting pitching looked really good with the Rays last week. Good starts from Rasmussen and Kluber. McClanahan, he had 11 strikeouts in 5 innings this past week. Good to see that. And the bullpen continues to be really good. They ranked 10th overall last week. Rayleigh, I can never say it. Fireisen. Thompson, Adam, Beeks, Whisler. Neither of these guys gave up any runs last week, so the bullpen is still very strong. The Rays, they do drop 2 spots in my power rankings this week, but that's mainly because of some of these other teams that have just gotten red hot. So the Rays, they still looked really good, but they come in at number 10 for me. Coming in, and this is where I could see a bit of a debate. I wonder if maybe you could put this team at number 10, or where I put them, I'm having them at number 9. The Minnesota Twins. They are just looking so good. They're just looking so good. Right now for the year, they're 13th in WRC+. They're 8th in starting pitching. That starting pitching has been phenomenal. I love what they're doing in that rotation. Joe Ryan is absolutely killing it. Bailey Ober's looking solid. Even Chris Archer is looking like the old Chris Archer a little bit. Even Dylan Bundy is looking like 2020 Dylan Bundy a little bit. But overall, starting pitching is just looking really good. So, the bullpen, though, the bullpen needs a little work. They're 25th overall when it comes to FIP, so keep in mind of that. But with the Minnesota Twins, they are just on absolute fire. They've won 9 out of their last 10 games. The only game that they lost was against the Rays, and that was when Kenta Maeda decided to come on in and hang out with the team, and now he's not going to even come back near the team. He actually put a little sign up on the wall saying, hey guys, sorry, the one game I came to come watch, you lost, so I'm going to stay away. But they've won 3 in a row up to this point. Again, 9 out of their last 10. The Minnesota Twins are just looking really good, but the numbers back them up as well. With the offense, they were 4th in WRC Plus last week. Taking a look overall on the year, Minnesota, they're 13th overall in WRC Plus, but a lot of that is because they were way lower in the first couple of weeks, but the last couple of weeks, they have really started to heat up. Taking a look at Minnesota last week, they ranked 4th in WRC+. Max Kepler, he's on fire. Hit 4 home runs last week. He had over 1,000 slugging. Let me actually just pull up the Twins here. Whoa, what the? Taking a look here. Larnack, he did well last week. Or actually, no, this is for the whole year. Let's just take a look. Byron Buxton, of course. How can we not mention Byron Buxton? I was just talking about last week's numbers. But Kepler, Larnack, those guys looked good last week. Even Correa looked good last week. Look out for Carlos Correa. He's starting to heat up. He hit 385 last week with a 407 on base. So Carlos Correa, he's starting to come around a little bit. Also, I didn't mention Jeremy Pena earlier with the Astros. He's doing so good. Well, no, yeah, I did. I think I said he hit 4 home runs. Did I? Jeremy Pena, really good. Good glove as well. So, Garlick had a couple of home runs this past week. Last week, he also had over 1,000 slugging. So, the Twins' offense is just looking really good. The starting pitching, like I mentioned, these guys are just phenomenal right now. This Minnesota Twins starting pitching, my goodness. Take a look here. What is going on? I just have so many tabs open. I don't know what's going on. My potato brain is just all over the place right now. Taking a look here. Look at Chris Paddock. I don't know. I was just saying, Chris Paddock, everyone was talking to me on Twitter like I was crazy. And look at the year Chris Paddock is having. He's not pitching as many innings as some of these other guys, but he's leading the Twins right now when it comes to Fangraph WAR. And here's me on Twitter like, okay, I guess no one wants to listen to me. But here he is, pitching well with the Twins. I'm just saying. 3 starts, small sample size, but he's off to a good start. A 1.72 FIP, a 3.60 ERA, hasn't given up 1 home run. He's not walking really any guys, but really the guy that I think is really leading the way is Joe Ryan. This guy has been phenomenal. Look at these numbers. He has a 1.17 ERA, Not too bad if you ask me. And the FIP is pretty good too, 2.96. Right around 10 strikeouts per 9, under a home run per 9, 2 walks per 9. And like I said, Dylan Bundy, he's looking like the 2020 Dylan Bundy. My goodness, look at these numbers. Bailey Ober has been pretty solid for the most part, a 3.55 FIP. Joe Smith out of the bullpen, he has been nails, hasn't given up a run so far. Josh Winder, I feel like there's not a lot of talk about Josh Winder right now, but he's putting up some pretty good numbers. 16 innings, he did have a start, 4 games overall, 2.20 ERA and a 3.94 FIP. Even Duran out of this bullpen has been awesome. Gotta love it. I mean, there's just so much good pitching right now with the Minnesota Twins. Even someone like Griffin Jax. I mean, look at his numbers. He's got an ERA of 2, 11 strikeouts per 9, 3.42 FIP. Man, this Twins team is just rolling right now. For me, I have them coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, another team that is just playing great baseball lately, the LA Angels. It's about time. It's about time. This LA Angels team, they're looking really good. They split with the White Sox this past weekend, but they did sweep the Guardians. The Angels, if we take a look at the Angels right now, when we look at the offense for the whole year, they're number 1 in offense. Number 1. They have a 126 WRC plus on the year. These guys, they're just hitting, man. And you got to love it. Mike Trout, back to being the old Mike Trout. Taylor Ward is also just on fire right now. Is anyone noticing Taylor Ward? Are you kidding me? Look at Taylor Ward's numbers really quick. He's right behind Mike Trout and Ward. He's hitting .400. He's got a .507 on base, a .764 slugging, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. This guy's out of his mind. Brandon Marsh, I mean, he's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. A .354 on base. Stacy, he's been fine, but more defense if anything. Even Tyler Wade, he's even been hitting well. He's hit .298 with the Angels since coming over from the Yankees, a .340 on base. Rendon, he's starting to show signs. I think Rendon is almost there. I think he's gonna end up putting up some good numbers this year. Ohtani last week had a homer, 3 RBIs. The starting pitching is looking really solid. If we take a look here, here we go. This is for the whole year. That's for the past week. So let's pull up. So the Angels, as of right now, overall, they rank 7th on Fangraphs. If we take a look at just the FIP, the Angels rank 16th. But overall, they're in the top 10. Let's take a look at what some of these guys on the Angels are doing. Again, Ohtani. I mean, what else is there to say? This guy deals on the mound. Had some groin tightness this past weekend, or this past week. Hopefully, he's going to end up being fine. Sandoval, he hasn't given up a run yet this year. Syndergaard, he's been awesome coming back from Tommy John. Lorenzen is looking really good in his last couple of starts. Even Reed Detmers is looking pretty good. He's starting to trend in the right direction. Look out for Reed Detmers. Man, these guys are looking really good for the Angels. I just love what they're doing. But the bullpen is what is looking really good as well. Let me go here to the bullpen numbers. Overall, for the bullpen, this year, they don't rank very well when it comes to overall. When we look at the FIP, they're not very good either. They're 28th in FIP. So the bullpen, they do have some guys that are really doing well. Iglesias had 4 saves last week. Aaron Loop has been awesome since coming over. Last week, Warren, Bradley, Ortega, Tepera, Berea. No earned runs from any of those guys. All awesome last week. Last week, the Angels ranked 7th. So while they don't have a great overall ranking this year, last week, they had their best week when it came to relief pitching. So the Angels bullpen, it looks like they're trending in the right direction. We're going to have to wait and see how it ends up. But this Angels team, they're just clicking right now. If we take a look at their record, they're 15-9, 7-3 in their last 10. Man, they're just playing extremely well. And it's really nice to see that this Angels team, it's looking like, hopefully, it's looking like they're for real. So I'm going to have to wait and see how they end up doing. So, coming in at number 7, we have the San Diego Padres. Coming in at number 7. Just talked about this team earlier. Padres, man, they're looking pretty good. Had a bit of an easy week. They swept the Reds. They took 2 out of 3 against the Pirates. But, hey, that's what you got to do against those teams. You got to take advantage of those kind of teams. But overall in the year, they're 9th in WRC+. They're 10th in starting pitching. They are 2nd in defensive runs saved. The Padres are a very good defensive team this year. And they're also the 2nd best clutch team. So be aware of that as well. They're coming up in big spots. And, you gotta love it. I know Eric Hosmer, man, even when this guy is doing good, he still has to make a horrible error like he did. The ball just getting by him. Brian Hayes ended up scoring. Man, Eric Hosmer, he can't catch a break, but Eric Hosmer's bat is looking really good this year. I mean, look at Eric Hosmer's numbers right now. Overall, the Padres, they, when it comes to WRC+, last week, they ranked 2nd overall. So they're 9th overall in WRC+ on the year, as it shows right here. But last week, the Padres offense, man, it was on fire. Taking a look here at the numbers just for last week. Let me actually see here. Nope, I got to pull up a separate tab. Here we go. 25th through the 1st. Eric Hosmer, like I said, he had that bad play. But he's hitting. Last week, he was the best hitter for the Padres. Well, he was tied with Machado, but he hit 400 last week, a 556 on base. He had an 850 slugging. He had a 289 WRC+. He had 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. Can Eric Hosmer please just end up having a good season? He needs it. I'm praying for him. This guy needs it, man. But and it's too bad that he ended up having that bad play, because the guy just can never catch a break. So Eric Hosmer, he did really well. Machado hit really well last week. Ha-Sung Kim, hey, look at Ha-Sung Kim. The guy's doing good. He's finally starting to hit. Hit 368 last week, a 400 on base, 842 slugging, couple of homers, 7 RBIs. Hey, gotta love it. Another super chat coming in. Rat Boy King. Machado got snubbed for NL Player of the Month. Oh, did they announce those? Where were the, where did they announce those? Oh, here we go. Oh, I didn't even see these. Oh, okay. Jose Ramirez. That's my MVP pick. Man, let's go on Fangraphs and let's look at the leaderboards. Yeah, I mean, you definitely, you could make an argument for Machado here. I mean, he's leading in Fangraph war. So, but you know why I think these guys ended up getting it? You see those home runs right there. You see those RBIs. That's what MLB, that's what Major League Baseball likes. I think Machado should have, but then again, Nolan Arenado had a really good month too. But man, Machado, he looked really good last month too. Arenado did have the way better slugging. But man, Machado had 4 stolen bases. Ugh. It's close. It is close. They're both doing better than each other in other things. But there's definitely an argument for Manny Machado. Thank you so much for that super chat. I definitely think Jose Ramirez was a good pick for the American League. As you can see, he's tied with Trout as of right now. But I think Jose Ramirez, he ended up having 28 RBIs. That's my pick for MVP, man. Let's hope he can keep it going. There's Nolan Arenado getting National League Player of the Month for April. Hey, AL Pitcher of the Month, Logan Gilbert. We were just talking about him. I feel like this guy, he is just leading the Mariners right now at such a young age. Hey, good to see Logan Gilbert getting AL Pitcher of the Month. NL Pitcher of the Month is Pablo Lopez. Let's take a look here. So, very interesting, because with Logan Gilbert, I do like what he's done, but Fangraph War likes a lot of other guys. Kind of surprised Dosman didn't get it. Dosman looked really good this past month. And then there's also, like Rodon didn't get it. Even someone like Kyle Wright. Like, you could make an argument for Kyle Wright. Huh. You know why Pablo Lopez got it? Because of the ERA. A 0.39 ERA. He's not striking out a lot of guys. Honestly, I would have went with Kyle Wright. I would have went with him. I mean, this guy, he's had horrible numbers in the first few years. I think Kyle Wright should have gotten it. You could make the argument for Rodon, too. I mean, honestly, I'd go with Rodon or Kyle Wright. Because, now that I'm saying it out loud, probably Carlos Rodon. I would go more for him. Because the guy's striking out more guys. There's also like a nice little story with Carlos Rodon, too. He was hurt last year. I would have been okay with either Rodon or Kyle Wright getting it. You could make the argument for Joe Musgrove, too. He's not really walking any guys. So I think Logan Gilbert was a bit of a stretch. And again, the reason Logan Gilbert gets it is because he was, I'm surprised, actually, surprised Scherzer didn't get it. I mean, because the Major League Baseball, they like to look at like kind of the casual numbers, 4 wins, good strikeouts. Well, some of these guys had a way lower ERA than Scherzer. But to me, again, the reason Logan Gilbert got it, the reason Pablo Lopez got it was because of the ERAs. 0.64 ERA for Gilbert. That FIP is a lot higher, though. So it's not high, but it's higher. So let's see. How about the other guys? Jordan Romano getting AL reliever of the year. Or of the month, sorry. And Josh Hader getting it for the National League. So let's go pull up the relievers. Man, you didn't give it to Michael King? I would have given it to Michael King. Why didn't Michael King get the award? Why? No. Oh, because he has 10 saves. Come on, Michael King. Come on. I know, it's because of the saves. Michael King did so good, man, last month. I would have given it to him. Hader, he did really good, too. I'm okay with Hader for the National League. Oh, man. The only reason Romano's getting it is because of the saves. It's the 11 saves. I would have gone with Michael King, honestly. That guy was nails. Dude, he came in a couple of spots with the Yankees, and he just, holy cow. That guy has ice in his veins, man. So, I'm just saying. So, but I know why, Hader and Romano ended up getting it. It's because they look at those surface numbers. How about, do they go over rookies? Nice. Stephen Kwan, Rookie of the Month. I did pick Rookie of the Year, so I'm on the right track. And Seiya Suzuki for the National League. I'm okay with that. Alrighty. Back to the power rankings. Here we go. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, for the Padres, they're just hitting really well right now. The starting pitching, they actually ranked first in FIP this past week. Look at the Padres starting pitching. First overall in FIP, a 1.80. The Padres are pitching their heinies off right now. They were 5-0 with their starting pitching last week. Joe Musgrove was 2-0. He had a couple of really good starts. Mackenzie Gore, 10 strikeouts in 5 innings. Martinez, Manaea, Darvish, they all looked pretty solid. The bullpen, they only ranked 28th. It's kind of like the Angels, where the bullpen not doing all that great. If we take a look, like I said, the Angels last week ranked 28th, and the Padres ranked 27th. So keep that in mind. Now, if we take a look at the whole year, for the Padres, when you're looking at all the numbers, again, I like to just kind of look at FIP, but 25th overall. So the Padres, they're going to have to get some guys stepping up a little bit more in that bullpen. They are getting Taylor Rogers had 4 saves last week. Garcia, Stammen, they were both pretty solid. Everyone else, not too much. But the Padres, They're really firing right now. They're winning a lot of games. I like what the Padres are doing. I got them coming in at number 7. Coming in at number 6, rounding out the second to highest tier. Here we go. The Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers, man. We all know the story with the Milwaukee Brewers. They can pitch. But the offense just lags. They won 3 out of 4 against the Pirates last week. They won 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. They're just a good team. I think they're a good team. It's just the offense. I just want this offense to start hitting. But I will say this. With the Milwaukee Brewers. Last week, the offense did look pretty good. They ranked 5th in WRC+. Willy Adames, last week, he hit .310 with a .375 on base and .828 slugging. 4 home runs and 10 RBIs. Willy Adames, holy cow, this guy had a week. Rowdy Tellez had a .500 slugging. Hunter Renfroe had 3 home runs last week. Christian Yelich had a couple of home runs last week. Are we starting to see the old Christian Yelich? When it came to starting pitching, amazing. Amazing starting pitching. Burns had 2 solid starts last week. Eric Lauer, this guy's just striking out everyone. Brandon Woodruff, I know the ERA is a 5.30, but the FIP is a 2.66. So I think Brandon Woodruff is on track to putting up the numbers that he usually does. Peralta, he was solid last week. The bullpen was solid last week with the Milwaukee Brewers, 11th overall. We were just taking a look at the NL reliever of the month, Josh Hader. These guys can pitch. They can pitch until they are blue in the face. If they can keep doing what they were doing with the bats that they did last week, oh boy, this Brewers team, they're going to be really dangerous. For me, I think 6 is a nice spot for them. I feel like they could be a top 5. I'm not quite there yet with the Milwaukee Brewers, so we'll have to see what they do this coming week. We got 5 more teams to go. But just really quick, looking at where last week I was 6 through 10. The Brewers last week, so they jumped up a couple of spots from 8 to 6. The Padres, they were at number 12, and they jumped up to number 7, so they jumped up 5 spots. The Angels last week, they were at number 14, so they're at number 8. So that's 6 spots they jumped up. The Twins ended up jumping up 3 spots from 11 to 8. Or 2 spots from 11 to 9. And the Rays, they ended up falling a couple of spots. Not necessarily because they had a bad week, but just these other teams are just, man, they're just playing. But last week for the top 5, we had the Mariners at number 5, the Yankees at number 4, the Mets at number 3, the Giants at number 2, and the Dodgers at number 1. Here we go, coming in at... I'm going to be honest with you. I'm even still a little up in the air on this. I had a really hard time with this spot. Man, I'm even still thinking about switching it now. I'm thinking about it because this is so tight. It's almost like they're both just really good. I'm doing one last look at the numbers. One last look. Who's going to get number 5? TD Sports Cards, I think you're on the right track. I'm having a tough time with this one because both teams are very strong. They're very, very even and last week as well. I mean, they both looked really good last week. I usually like to stick with the numbers here, but one of these teams, man, they gave me a bit of a bad taste in my mouth over the weekend. One last look here. Man, it's tough. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm actually having a really tough time with this. I had a tough time with it earlier. I got to do it. I got to do it. I had this team at number 4. I got to make the switch. I got to do it. I'm going with the Giants at 5. Man, I did want to put them at 4. I did. But man, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Nationals, and I couldn't get that out of my mouth, man. I couldn't get that bad. I could not get the bad taste out of my mouth. If they had won that series, they'd be at number 4. But they lost to the Nationals. I don't know. I just really like this Giants team, and here's why. Here's why I had such a tough time. If you're kind of wondering like why you're having such a tough time with it, because their bullpen last week was phenomenal. Their bullpen was so good last week. Look at this Giants bullpen overall on the year. They have the 3rd best bullpen, or at least the 3rd best FIP right now at 2.88. But look at what this bullpen did last week. Where do I have it? I got so many tabs open right now. I am just losing it. This Giants bullpen, they had the best bullpen overall. It was so good. Taking a look at the Giants. They pitched 34 innings last week. They had a 2.07 FIP. They had over 10 strikeouts per 9. Right around 2 walks per 9. A 0.26 home run per 9. Are you kidding me? Like, these are great numbers. Look at what some of these guys did. Like, are you kidding? Like, these are just like really dumb numbers. Like, look at Tyler Rogers, on the year. He's got a really good FIP of 1.54. Jacob Junis, man, this guy is pitching. He's doing really good. John Brabia, he's pitching really well. Zach Liddell, he's pitching well. Jose Alvarez is pitching pretty good. Dominic Leone, he was pitching good last year. He's pitching good again this year. Camilo Duvall, he's got 4 saves. They got a good bullpen, man. I really do like this bullpen with the Giants. They're really working hard. They did have to work hard last week because the starting pitching, which is usually a strength, last week, the Giants starting pitching, it wasn't bad overall, but they ranked 13th. So, taking a look here at the San Francisco Giants last week, overall on the year, Carlos Rodon, we just talked about him a second ago. He's looking really good. Logan Webb, he's looking really solid. I would like to see Logan Webb get a couple more strikeouts. That would be pretty nice. Alex Cobb, he's been a pretty nice addition. 5.4 ERA, but 1.79 ERA. Same thing with DeSclafani, high ERA, low FIP. So the starting pitching is not what it was last year, but Rodon and Webb and Cobb, Cobb is also not really throwing a lot of innings, so be aware of that as well. But Rodon and Webb, these guys are pitching very well. But the starting pitching is not as strong as it was last year. So could you imagine if Dosman was in this rotation too? Could you imagine if you had Dosman, Rodon, and Webb as your 1 through 3? That'd just be stupid. But for the offense, they were 12th last week when it came to WRC+. Taking a look at the Giants at a 105 WRC plus last week, and taking a look at some of these guys. Jason Vosler, man. Hey, how about Jason Vosler? Having himself a good week last week. Had a 381 on base, a 625 slugging, had a couple of home runs. Look at some of these guys. Joey Bart, Slater, Flores, Gonzalez, all hitting home runs. All had good slugging percentages last week. Brennan Crawford, he's still trying to figure it out at the plate. Or he had a bad week last week, but defensively he's still been playing really well. Jock Peterson only played 3 games, but he hit pretty well. He had a home run last week. So I like what this Giants offense is. it's not like a whole ton of firepower. It's just guys that know their roles and they just play well in their roles. I really like that about the Giants. So, but last week, again, they didn't have a very strong week. It wasn't like an amazing week. You lost 2 out of 3 to the Nationals. They beat the Brewers one game, and they split with the A's in another series. So, the Giants, not a bad week necessarily, but the bullpen really had to pick up a lot of the slack. They had some good starting pitching, some not. The offense was fine for the most part. They have a lot of guys. I think they had a few guys on the COVID IL. I think they got a couple other guys that are hurt as well. So the Giants, they're kind of going through it a little bit, but they're really holding steady. But I did want to keep them at number 4. I had them at number 4 earlier. I decided to make a last-second change. So the team that I had at number 5, but man, they just looked really good. And you know what? I did a flip-flop here. I'm going with the Blue Jays at number 4. The Blue Jays, man, the stats last week weren't amazing with the offense, and they weren't amazing with the bullpen, but their starting pitching, their starting pitching is looking really good. But they just played really well. They took 3 out of 4 against my Red Sox. They won 2 out of 3 against the Astros. Overall, on the year, they rank 15th in WRC+. They rank 5th in starting pitching, FIP, and they rank 17th in relief pitching, FIP. But they're also playing good defense. They rank 3rd in defensive runs saved. So this Blue Jays team, there's an energy about this team. There's something about this Blue Jays team, and I think a lot of people saw this. There's just something about this team. I can't really, you know what I mean? Like, you feel like there's some magic with that team. And Springer is coming alive lately. Man, he is hitting really well. He made me cry myself to sleep this past week with his game-tying home run. Are you kidding me? But this Blue Jays offense, they're looking really solid. But I just love what this starting pitching is doing. The starting pitching is just dumb. Let's pull up the starting pitching. Last week, like I said, with FIP, they didn't rank, where are they at? Toronto. They were at number 2. Overall on the year, they ranked 5. So last week, they just kept it going. 7 starts overall from their guys last week, 3-0 on the week. And, taking a look here. Kevin Dosman, man. I'm really eating my own words. I was thinking, all right, you know what? This guy's a fly ball kind of a guy. I wonder how his stuff is going to translate over to the American League East. But Dosman, man, 5 starts overall in the year. The ERA is already low as it is, 2.27. But I've said FIP probably like 1,000 times during this stream. He has a 0.5 FIP. This guy is just dumb. He hasn't walked anyone this year. He hasn't given up a home run. He's striking out over 11 guys per 9. Even Ross Stripling is doing pretty good. Look at the FIP, 1.47. I remember a couple of years ago, I really wanted Chaim Bloom to get Ross Stripling. And, hey, he's doing it for the Blue Jays now. Alec Manoa, he continues to be really solid. FIP is higher than the ERA, but whatever. He's still pitching great. Jose Barrios, the numbers are a little high with him. 4.13 ERA, 4.96 FIP. Strikeouts could come up a little bit. Barrios, he's going to end up just being a really solid guy. Not worried about him. Hyun-Jin Ryu, we're going to have to wait and see, what is this guy going to do for the rest of the year? He was having, I think, something going on with his shoulder or the elbow or forearm? I can't remember, but he was having something going on there. Yusei Kikuchi, not a whole lot else going on with him. He's walking a ton of guys. He's been kind of just whatever. So Dosman and Manoa are really leading this rotation right now. But last week, let me actually pull this up. Last week, this starting pitching was so good. Dosman, 2 starts, amazing. Stripling, 5 innings, very good. Alec Manoa, 7 innings, no earned runs. Jose Barrios, while he has not had a great year, not bad either, but he had 2 starts last week. They both looked really good. So they got 4 guys right now that are just doing their thing. Kikuchi is just kind of whatever. At least he strikes out guys. But he only went 2 innings last week. Oh, brother. So the Blue Jays starting pitching is extremely good. So Taking a look at the bullpen. Here we go. Let me close out some tabs. All right, so overall, Toronto's bullpen. I remember that was last year. It was a bit of a thorn in their side. It was not as effective as it could have been. But overall on the year, they rank 11th with the bullpen. With the FIP, they rank 15th with FIP. So, that was last week. I apologize. That was last week. But overall, they rank 11th last week, and FIP ranked 15th last week. So they're getting it done in the bullpen. They did have a couple of losses last week, but Romano, he keeps on saving games. He just got AL reliever of the month. Not really worried about this Blue Jays bullpen. Could they end up adding a guy maybe by the deadline? Sure, definitely. We'll have to wait and see. But Toronto, I just love their starting pitching right now. The offense is dangerous. Springer's coming alive. He's doing amazing. Let's actually pull up some of these numbers with the Blue Jays. Toronto, again, 15th overall on the year, which is kind of weird because the Blue Jays offense is just so good. So who knows where it's going to rank by, halfway through the season. But Springer, he's back to just being Springer, man. Hopefully this guy can just stay healthy. Well, for my sake as a Red Sox fan, I hope he stays healthy, but hopefully he can cool down a little bit. Look at Santiago Espinal. Just, casually ranking number 2 in Fangraph WAR. Vlad Jr., he hasn't even gotten to his final form yet. And this guy, he's putting up okay, 275 average, 6 home runs, 341 on base. These numbers, we saw what Vlad Jr. did last year. These can definitely get better. Matt Chapman's hitting for power, 4 home runs on the year, 12 RBIs. Hey, playing solid defense out there. This Blue Jays offense has not hit its stride yet. And it's going to be scary when they do. Taking a look here really quick. Now, we got some guys that are struggling on the year. Bo Bichette, he's only hitting .214 on the year. I think he had a pretty good game earlier. Okay, he went 2 for 4 tonight. So that's good for him. So hopefully he can start breaking out. Here we go. Nope. Where did it go? Here we go. Kirk hasn't really hit his stride yet. Raymel Tapia, kind of whatever. Kevin Biggio, not looking great. Oh, my God. Kevin Biggio last week hit .043. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. Or he's hitting that on the year. Oh, my God. Oh. So, yeah, they got a couple of guys down here. They're not really doing too good. But Springer, that's been nice for them. And I saw it firsthand. That guy tied the game against my Red Sox. And so, I don't know. But the Blue Jays, they come in at number 4 for me. Coming in at number 3, where's the music? I feel like it's oddly quiet. Here we go. In case you need some... Just in case you need some copyright-free music, go to Stream Beats. Let's start with that one. All right, here we go. At number 3, this team, a bit of a fall from last week, but they're still a top 3 for me. The Dodgers coming in at number 3. This Dodgers team, nothing against this Dodgers team. They're really good, but we got these other 2 teams down here. We got these other 2 teams down here that are just playing amazing. So for the Dodgers, they're, they're not bad. They're not playing bad by any means. However, I will point this out. The Dodgers, they did lose 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks this past week. They did beat the Tigers, but I don't know. Dodgers, he's slipping? Nah, they're going to be fine. But for right now, I'm going to put him at number 3. The offense did slump a little bit last week. They only ranked 23rd overall. Mookie Betts, Will Smith, they both did hit over 300 last week. But the bullpen was fine. It ranked 14th overall in FIP. But the starting pitching, just like the Blue Jays starting pitching, oh my, very, very, very good. So taking a look here, the Dodgers, like I said, the Blue Jays, they ranked 2nd. But the Dodgers last week, they ranked 4th. So let's pull up some of these guys. Walker Buehler, he was fantastic. 14 innings last week, didn't give up a run. Clayton Kershaw, congratulations to him, becoming the all-time Dodgers strikeout king. Hey, even guys like Tyler Anderson, Julio Urias, Tony Gonsolin, hey, those guys, they pitched pretty well. No one got a loss last week from the starting rotation. Again, the bullpen was fine. It's them moving down to 3 is more because of these other two teams. They're just playing so well right now, and the Dodgers, you know, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks. Well, I don't know. What do you want me to say? I'm just saying. But here we go. Coming in at number 2. You know what? I'm going to do a poll. Who do you think I'm going to put at number 2? Is it going to be the Mets or is it going to be the Yankees? Let me know in the chat. Jared says Mets. Oh, wow. You all think I'm going Mets. Oh, man. Now, I'm not saying who you think should be at number 2. Which team do you think I'm going to put at number 2? Not which team should be at number 2. It's Cat says, I think I would go with Mets, but I feel like you're going to go with the Yankees. Odd Villain, he says the Reds. You know what, Odd Villain, you're right. You know what, Odd Villain, joke's on you. My Red Sox are, I'm kidding. I wish my Red Sox could go up there. Odd Villain, the Disco Turkeys. You're on the right track, my friend. Coming in at number 2, you guys are probably going to hate me. You know what? I'm sorry. Whatever. You know, I'm not sorry. I'm not apologizing. These are my power rankings. If you don't like it, eat my shorts. I'm putting the Yankees at number 2, and I'm putting the Mets at number 1. You want to know why the Mets are coming in at number 1? And I know the Yankees, they've won a whole ton of games. They've won, 10 straight now? I understand. I get it. But you know what? The Yankees, I need to see a little bit more. And you're going to see, I already can see it. You're going to be sitting here saying, oh, it's because Robbie hates the Yankees. He's a Red Sox fan. Baloney. I picked the Yankees to win the World Series last year and 2 years ago. So don't even come at me with that. I know they've won 10 straight. But you know what? This Mets team, man, I just want to see here's the thing. I just want to see the Yankees play some good teams. They just beat the Blue Jays tonight. They're doing what I want them to do. If the Yankees can prove to me this week that they can beat some more teams over 500, I'll put the Yankees at number 1. That's all I want to see. That's it. That's all I want to see. Hey, Dondre Henderson, you get out of here with that noise. Yes, I am very mad at my Red Sox, but that has nothing to do with this. But, hey, MLB Joey, or no, who said that? Wolfpack, sorry. Wolfpack, I'm not counting tonight. I'm not counting it because this is for last week. Yankees 286. Yankees win 10 straight. But, yes, they're doing very good. So, the Mets right now, they're also very good on the road. They're 9-4 on the road right now. So for me, I just want to see the Yankees play it's not about the Yankees. I'm not saying they're doing bad. I just want them to show me that they can beat some teams over 500. The Mets they've been winning series left and right. Also, the Mets threw a combined no-hitter this past week, but this is a good first step for the Yankees. United won with a super chat. Thank you so much. Angels going to sweep the Sox. Probably, my friend. Probably. Wonder Davy, I know they went undefeated last week. I know they did. But you got to look at what their schedule was last week. Here is the schedule for the Yankees. They played the Royals over the weekend, so let's keep that in mind. Okay, they played the Royals. And they also played the Orioles before that. Yes. They've won 10 straight games. But you got to consider the schedule. They played the Orioles and they played the Royals. I get it. But I just want to see this Yankees team beat some good teams. And this is the perfect test right here. They already did one. They did the first step. This is exactly what I need them to do. If they can win this series against the Blue Jays on the road, that's all I need to see. That's it. That's all I need to see. I'm just going week by week here, everyone. But the Yankees just beat the Blue Jays one more game, and they're pretty much at number one for me. I just needed to see a little bit more against some teams over 500. And you got the Rangers at home. So, but as for the Mets, let's take a look at the Mets. This team has just been red hot. I know the Yankees are red hot, but so have the Mets. They've been really good too. I know they lost tonight. We're not counting tonight. We're not counting tonight. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. But the Mets last week, hey, good Cardinals team. You know, beat the Cardinals on the road. Gotta love that. They had the combined no-hitter. They took 2 out of 3 against the division rival Phillies team. I mean, the Mets had a good week. Yeah, they lost a couple. They lost, 10-5. They lost 4-1. But this Mets team, man, taking a look here, the Mets overall on the year, they are 3rd in WRC+, they are 2nd in starting pitching FIP, and they are 9th in relief pitching FIP. Last week, their offense ranked 6th, the starting pitching ranked 13th, and the relief pitching ranked 19th. They had a combined no-hitter. McNeil hit .526 last week with a .789 slugging. Canna and Dominic Smith hit over .400 last week. Also, Robinson Cano got DFA'd, so is that addition by subtraction? I'm just saying. Scherzer had 19 strikeouts over 2 starts. Diaz had 3 saves. I'm just saying. The Yankees, again, yes, they've been red hot. They are now at 10 straight wins. They were at 9 straight coming into today. They did sweep the Orioles. They swept the Royals. Judge had a big week last week. Aaron Judge had 5 home runs. Rizzo had 4. The starting pitching and the relief pitching obviously did not lose a game. Relief pitching looks good. Starting pitching looks good. The only thing, Elisa Budnick has just subscribed. Thank you so much. But this is where I'm at right now. I just need to see a little bit more from the Yankees. I know Yankee fans, you're going to hate me. It has nothing to do with the talent on the Yankees. I'm just saying, I've seen the Mets. They have been playing some good teams. They beat a division rival 2 out of 3 this weekend. They beat a good Cardinals team in the beginning of the week, 2 out of 3. The Yankees, they're hammering these weaker teams. If they win 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays, you got me. That's all I need to see. That's all I need to see. But those are my power rankings for this week, everyone. I know we were going to do these last night. Wasn't able to last night, so we did it tonight. So those are my power rankings, everyone. Before you get out of here, please hit that like button for me on the way out. Hey, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification on your way out. Share this with all of your friends and family. And really quick, I know I've said this a few times, but I'm just trying to get it out there to as many people as I can. Don't forget, YouTubers versus actual minor leaguers going up against the Burlington Sock Puppets and the Carolina Disco Turkeys. June 1st against the Sock Puppets. June 3rd against the Disco Turkeys. We got Giraffe Neck Mark. We got Fuzzy. Foolish Baseball will be there in some capacity. We got Eric Sims, King of Juco. RBT, 5 Points Vids. He's the one that put it all together. Hey, it's going to be a lot of fun. Just booked my flight today. Just booked the hotel. Pretty excited for it. Also, really quick, I did get chosen for this year to be a part of the Major League Baseball Game of the Week on YouTube. So please check out some Major League Baseball on YouTube this year. But everyone, that is all I have for tonight. I appreciate you all coming out. Not as much of a turnout as we usually do for the Power Rankings. I think that's just because we did this on a Monday night instead of Sunday. So we will be back to normal programming this coming Sunday. I want to thank everyone for all the super chats. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for participating in the chat. I love all of you guys and girls as well. Everyone, have yourself a good night. Have yourself a good day tomorrow. Don't forget, I have uploaded a couple of videos in the past couple of days. So be sure to check those out if you can. But everyone, have yourself a good night. Have a good day tomorrow. And I'll talk to you next time.